They dismissed us as weak. Then a hidden human warship appeared. Others had multiple arms or eyes that could see in every direction. Ethan and his team stood among them, feeling smaller than ever. Humans were not built to stand out in a room like this. "Do you really think they will take us seriously?" whispered Lisa Morrow, leaning close to Ethan. She was the ambassador, calm and careful, but even she looked tense. "We have to," Ethan said quietly. "We have no choice. Why should we trust them with any responsibility in this war?" Another species, a tall, elegant one with translucent skin, added, "They are still learning to work together on their own planet. They fight among themselves more than with others. How can we rely on them to fight beside us?" Ethan noticed one of the younger council members, a small, blue-skinned alien, looking at them with thinly veiled amusement. Ethan straightened his shoulders. "If I may speak," he said. His voice was steady, though he could feel the eyes of hundreds upon him. "Humans are young. Yes, we have disagreements. Yes, we are smaller than most of the species here, but every species has strengths. Humans have learned to survive in the harshest conditions, to adapt when the world around them changes. We may seem fragile now, but our resilience has allowed us to reach this council, to take part in decisions that affect the entire galaxy. We have watched human broadcasts for years. Your species argues constantly. You destroy each other's cities with your own weapons. You call that resilience. We may not be the strongest by your standards, but we can make a difference if given the chance. Humans may survive your own planet's struggles, but can you survive a war in space? Against an enemy that has fleets hundreds of times larger than yours? I doubt it. Humans did not need to show their full strength to survive. They only needed the right moment. He took a deep breath and looked at Lisa. She gave a small nod, a sign of reassurance. "We are prepared to show our value," Ethan said. "Not today, perhaps, not in words alone. But if you witness the threat humanity has prepared for, you will see we are not as weak as you believe." After the session ended, the humans were escorted to a waiting area. It was smaller than the council chamber, a simple space filled with light and chairs. Ethan sat down heavily, rubbing the back of his neck. Lisa sat across from him, her face thoughtful. "They really think we are nothing," she said softly, "even after everything we've accomplished. They think we are nothing. If they believed we were strong, we wouldn't have the advantage of surprise. The galaxy underestimates humans all the time. That is how we survive." "So they laughed at us," Ryan said with a dry smile. "What's new?" Outside the windows, the stars of many systems glittered. Ethan thought about the countless hours humans had spent preparing for this kind of moment. Designing ships, training crews, developing technology, all while the galaxy laughed at them. "You know what's coming," Maya said suddenly. "We all feel it. Something big is going to happen." "And when it does," she trailed off, letting the thought hang in the air. Ethan nodded. "And when it does, they will be very wrong about us." Ethan felt the weight of their judgment pressing on him, yet it only strengthened his resolve. By evening, the humans were allowed to return to their quarters. The halls were long and cold, lined with strange lights that shifted colors as one walked past. Ethan walked slowly, reflecting on the council's reaction. Humans were underestimated, dismissed, and even mocked, but that had always been part of the strategy. Lisa joined him outside the quarters, staring out at the stars. "Do you think they will ever see us the way we see ourselves?" she asked. Ethan smiled faintly. "Not until we show them. And when we do, it will be impossible to ignore. We'll be ready." Ethan thought of the centuries of history that had shaped humanity, struggles, wars, and survival against impossible odds. The aliens did not see it, but humans were forged in challenge. They were strong, resilient, and unpredictable. Tomorrow, the council would continue to dismiss them. Tomorrow, humans would remain quiet, waiting for the right moment to reveal what they were capable of. And when that moment came, the galaxy would finally learn that the human species was far more dangerous than anyone had ever imagined. Ethan sat by the window, watching the stars. Somewhere out there, a threat was moving closer. The humans were ready, though no one else knew it yet. He could feel it in the quiet hum of the station, in the disciplined readiness of his team. The galaxy might laugh at them, dismiss them, and call them weak, but humans had survived for millennia by doing the unexpected. And when the galaxy realized what humans were truly capable of, there would be no turning back. For now, though, Ethan closed his eyes, letting the calm of the moment settle. Preparation, patience, and secrecy were the weapons of humanity. The council might see humans as small and weak, but soon, the quiet strength of the human race would speak louder than any words. The morning on the council station was quiet, but Ethan Brooks knew it was only the calm before a storm. The stars outside seemed peaceful, but sensors had begun to detect unusual movements. Ryan Cole studied the display screens with a focused look, while Maya Sullivan paced nearby, impatient and tense. "They are moving faster than predicted," Ryan said, pointing at the holographic map. "The enemy fleet is gathering near the outer rim. If they cross this sector, the coalition will be in real danger. They need to know how serious this is. We know how to survive, and this is the moment we need to be ready." Each ship seemed sleek and deadly, moving with precise coordination. The humans on the council station shared quiet glances. "Do you think they know we are here?" Maya asked, her voice low. "No," Ethan replied. "Not yet, and it's better that way. They must not see what humans are capable of until the time is right." Alien leaders spoke in urgent tones, arguing over the best way to defend their systems. The humans were largely ignored, their suggestions met with polite nods and dismissive gestures. One of the T-Vark leaders spoke again, his horned head towering over the council. "Our scouts report a fleet moving quickly through the border. It is larger than we expected, and they seem determined. Humans, do you have any strategy? You are barely armed compared to our fleets. Do you really think you can make a difference?" That was exactly what made the humans' secret plan possible. By evening, the warning signals became impossible to ignore. Sensors showed enemy ships appearing at the edge of Coalition space, advancing quickly and attacking supply lines. Coalition fleets scrambled, but many ships were destroyed before they could organize a defense. Ethan and his team watched as the first reports of destruction came in. Entire outposts were wiped out in minutes. Planets that had relied on coalition protection were suddenly under direct threat. "This is worse than we thought," Ryan said, his voice tight. "The coalition cannot hold them off alone. They will need help immediately. The moment we have trained for is almost here. We just need the right moment to act." They studied every detail of the enemy fleet, ship formations, weapon types, speed, and possible weak points. Each piece of information built a picture of what was coming. "Look at this," Ryan said, pointing to a holographic projection. "They are moving in waves, trying to overwhelm the coalition defenses. If we intervene now, we can create a strategic advantage. We can hit them where they don't expect it. They assume we are weak. That is why this will work." Entire systems were being lost, and panic began to spread among the leaders. One council member, a tall and thin alien with sharp eyes, exclaimed, "How is this possible? Our scouts warned us, yet we are losing ships faster than we can replace them. Why have they not acted?" "Soon the galaxy will see the truth. They will think it is just a small skirmish, but it will be the start of something much larger." The humans had been patient for decades, building these ships in secret, training crews, and keeping their presence unknown. Ethan knew that once the attack began, there would be no turning back. The enemy would face humans at their full strength, and the galaxy would be forced to reconsider its assumptions. As the first reports of destruction came in from border systems, the humans prepared. Each officer knew their role, each crew member had trained for this moment. Ethan, Ryan, and Maya stood together watching the starfield outside the station. "Do you think they still see us as weak?" Maya asked quietly. Ethan smiled faintly. "Yes, that is exactly why this will work. They think we are nothing. But when we appear, they will understand just how wrong they were." "Deploy now," the voice said. "The fleet is in position. Strike at the points we have discussed. Show them what humans are capable of." Cloaked vessels slid out from hidden sectors, positioning themselves strategically among the enemy lines. The humans had studied their movements for months. They knew exactly where to strike, exactly when to act. Maya grinned. They will not know what hit them. Coalition ships were fighting desperately, trying to hold back the wave of attacks. Entire systems were on the brink of falling. Ethan watched, feeling a calm determination. The humans had waited for this moment for decades. They had prepared quietly, built strength in secret, and now the time to act had come. The first signs of human intervention were subtle. Enemy ships began to lose communication with each other. Small attacks disrupted their formations and confusion spread. Alien commanders began to realize that something unexpected was happening. This is impossible," one T-Vark officer growled. "How are they doing this? Who is attacking us?" "Soon they will learn the truth." The galaxy did not know it yet, but the tide of the war was about to change. The enemy fleet pressed forward, confident that victory was nearly theirs. Coalition ships were battered, burning trails of debris marking their destruction across the void. On the observation deck of the Council station, Ethan Brooks watched with steady eyes. Despite the chaos, his mind was clear. This was the moment humans had trained for, the moment to strike, not in a small skirmish, but in full force. "Status?" Lisa Morrow asked, her voice calm, though her eyes reflected tension. Ryan Cole leaned over a console. "Enemy formation is concentrated near the Valen system. They're advancing quickly. Coalition ships are holding as best they can, but losses are heavy. If we don't act soon, entire sectors will fall." Its massive hull gleamed faintly in the starfield, designed to reflect as little light as possible. It was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Hundreds of smaller human ships formed a protective circle around it, cloaked and silent. Each vessel was ready, each crew trained to follow orders with exact precision. The humans had prepared for this moment for decades. They had quietly built their fleet, trained in secret, and studied every possible scenario. While the aliens believed humans were weak, these ships were proof of something far greater: patience, intelligence, and the will to survive. Ethan tapped his communicator. "Deploy now. Begin disruption at the points we observed. Keep the enemy distracted until the main warship appears." "Look at them scramble," Maya said with a fierce smile. "They don't know what's coming." From the shadow of a distant asteroid field, a massive human warship emerged. Its size alone dwarfed most of the enemy vessels. Its sleek hull bristled with weapon arrays, each one capable of firing with pinpoint accuracy across vast distances. The human ship moved with quiet authority, not a single vibration wasted in its engines. The enemy fleet froze, unable to comprehend what they were seeing. Their lines wavered as the new threat appeared. Coalition commanders, previously resigned to defeat, blinked in disbelief. That ship," one alien muttered. "It cannot be real." Energy beams cut through the enemy lines, destroying the lead ships in moments. Smaller human vessels followed, striking at weak points in coordination that was impossible to predict. The enemy fleet faltered, their formations collapsing as confusion and fear spread. Maya's voice came over the communicator, calm and precise. "Strike at the flanks. Keep them off balance. Make them think the fleet is larger than it is." On the Council station, alien leaders watched in stunned silence. They had laughed at humans, dismissed them, and assumed their weakness would render them irrelevant. Now they could do nothing but watch as the humans revealed the power they had hidden for so long. We underestimated them," one alien leader said, disbelief in its voice. "We never imagined humans could build such ships, or coordinate so perfectly." Explosions rippled through the fleet, sending debris scattering into space. Smaller human vessels darted in and out, exploiting gaps and striking where the enemy least expected. "Hold the line," Ethan instructed. "Keep pressure on their formations, don't let them regroup." Without clear communication and with ships being destroyed in unexpected ways, their strategy collapsed. Entire squadrons turned on each other in confusion, unsure of where the next strike would come from. Maya's voice came over again. "Focus on the Valen command ship. If we take it out, the rest will crumble. Keep the pressure constant. Don't give them a chance to recover." Enemy ships, leaderless and confused, began retreating. Their once confident advance turned into a chaotic flight. Coalition fleets, inspired by the human attack, began to rally. Where defeat seemed certain, hope now surged. Ethan watched as the tide of battle shifted. Humans had not only survived, they had dominated. And they had done it not through brute force alone, but through planning, strategy, and an understanding that patience could be as powerful as weapons. Lisa's voice came through, steady and calm. "The Council is watching. They cannot deny what they see. Humanity has arrived. Keep them from regrouping. We finish this now." The T-Vark, who had laughed at humans only hours before, now looked pale and shaken. How did they do this?" one muttered. "They hid their strength," Ethan said softly. "They waited for the right moment, and when they acted, they were unstoppable. The galaxy will never underestimate humanity again." The coalition fleets began to reorganize, moving in coordination with human forces to secure the borders and stabilize the sectors that had been under threat. From the observation deck, Ethan and his team watched the enemy fleet disappear into the distance. Smoke and debris trailed behind the fleeing ships, evidence of the human assault. The stars, once calm and distant, now reflected the chaos of the battle. Maya let out a long breath. "I can't believe it. They thought we were weak and we just crushed them." We have changed everything with this one strike. The galaxy had seen the resilience, the strategy, and the patience that humans had cultivated over centuries. The tide of war had shifted, and humanity was now a force that no one could ignore. And as the fleet returned to their hidden positions, the humans remained vigilant. They knew this was only the beginning. The enemy would recover, the coalition would need guidance, and the galaxy would watch them closely. But humanity had proven a single, undeniable fact. They were far stronger than anyone had ever believed. Ethan, Lisa, Ryan, and Maya stood together, watching the stars. The council would have to acknowledge what they had seen. Humans had arrived not through arrogance, but through quiet determination and precise action. And the hidden warship had shown the galaxy that human strength was real, unstoppable, and finally revealed. The battle was over, but the silence that followed was heavy and strange. The stars seemed calm again, though the scars of war lingered in space. Debris floated where enemy ships had exploded, and the coalition fleets were repairing and regrouping. On the observation deck of the council station, Ethan Brooks, Lisa Morrow, Ryan Cole, and Maya Sullivan stood in quiet reflection. The victory had been decisive. The hidden human warship, once a secret, had revealed the true strength of humanity. Entire enemy formations had been broken, their command destroyed, and the remaining ships had fled in disarray. Yet, despite the triumph, the humans remained calm. They knew the galaxy would now look at them differently, and that recognition brought its own weight. Lisa broke the silence. They saw it, didn't they? The council, the aliens, they cannot deny what happened. They saw the warship. They saw the precision, the strategy, and the results. But it is not enough for them to truly understand. Humans are still underestimated in many ways. That is why we must remain vigilant. We've changed the balance in the galaxy. The strategy had worked perfectly. Humans had shown enough to demonstrate strength, but not so much as to reveal all their capabilities. They had taught the galaxy a lesson in patience and precision. Back in the council chamber, alien leaders met in urgent discussion. The mood was tense and serious. Where laughter and dismissive comments had ruled before, now disbelief and respect filled the air. "How is it possible?" demanded a T-Vark commander. "The humans, they destroyed our forward fleet, and yet we could not even detect them until it was too late." The council turned to look at her. Their eyes, once filled with doubt, now carried a mix of respect and uncertainty. "We have proven ourselves," Lisa said clearly. "Humans are capable, strategic, and resilient. We have the strength to protect ourselves and to assist the coalition when it is needed. Underestimating us would be a mistake you will not make again." Some alien leaders whispered to each other, struggling to find words. Finally, the T-Vark leader spoke. His deep voice echoed through the chamber. "Humans, you have shown that we were wrong to doubt you. Your strength, your patience, and your skill have turned the tide of this battle. We acknowledge you as a powerful member of the coalition. But strength is not shown through pride or domination. It is shown through preparation, teamwork, and careful action. Humans have survived for centuries by learning these lessons. That is our way. Humans are no longer the species we thought they were." Ethan, Lisa, Ryan, and Maya shared a moment of quiet pride. "We did it," Maya said softly. "They finally understand what humans can do." Humans have always survived by expecting the unexpected. We prepare, we endure, and when the time is right, we strike. That is how we change the future. Humanity's place in the galaxy has changed forever. Ethan and his team watched as coalition commanders coordinated new defenses. The humans had proven their value, not through arrogance, but through quiet strength and precise action. "We've made a difference," Ryan said. "Not just for humans, but for everyone in the coalition. They've seen that strength can come from intelligence, patience, and resilience, not just size or numbers. And now the galaxy will think twice before dismissing anyone. That is the human way, quiet, prepared, and ready for the moment that counts." The galaxy knew humans were strong, but it had no idea how far they could go if fully challenged. Ethan reflected on what had happened. For centuries, humans had been underestimated. Other species thought them weak, fragile, and unprepared. Yet humans had survived through creativity, patience, and determination. Today, that patience had paid off. Lisa stood beside him. "Do you think they understand now?" she asked. "They understand enough," Ethan replied. "Enough to respect us, enough to know we are not weak, but they still do not know everything humans are capable of. That is fine. It is better they remain cautious. No one will dismiss us again." Their strategies were studied, their technology admired, and their ability to coordinate in battle became a benchmark for others. Ethan, Lisa, Ryan, and Maya continued to oversee the hidden human fleet. They knew the galaxy would test them again, that enemies would return, and that challenges would come. But they were ready. Humanity had shown that weakness was only a perception, and strength came from preparation, courage, and intelligence. In private, Ethan reflected on the humans who had built this secret fleet, trained the crews, and patiently waited for the right moment. Every generation had contributed to this victory. Every hidden ship, every quietly trained soldier, every unseen plan had led to this day. "We have done something important," Ethan said quietly. "Not just for humans, but for the galaxy. They will see us differently now." They had proven themselves in battle, revealed their strength, and demanded respect. But the real work was ongoing. Survival required constant vigilance. The galaxy was unpredictable, and humans had learned to expect the unexpected. For the first time in centuries, humans were seen as equals among the stars. They were no longer dismissed as weak, fragile, or irrelevant. The hidden warship and the strategy behind it had changed perceptions forever. Humanity had claimed its place not through arrogance, but through patience, skill, and quiet determination. As the Council recognized humanity, the humans prepared for the future. They would continue to train, to build, and to protect. The hidden fleet would remain ready, a reminder to the galaxy that underestimating humans was a dangerous mistake. Ethan looked out at the stars one last time. The battle had been won, but the war for influence, survival, and respect was ongoing. Humanity had proven itself, but the galaxy would always test them, and humans would always be ready. "They underestimated us," Maya said softly. "Yes," Ethan replied, "and they will never make that mistake again." The stars stretched endlessly before them, calm and beautiful. But humans knew one truth: the galaxy would always challenge them, and they would always be ready. They had been dismissed, mocked, and ignored. Now the galaxy knew better. Humanity had arrived.